Good morning, people. You are watching Teenage TripAdvisor television station. Today, we are going to discuss about the famous river of Singapore, and that is the Singapore River. Singapore River is a historical place that has a lot of significance and it is treasured till this day. The Singapore River flows through the central region of Singapore and then emptying out into the sea. This river can trace our earliest existence as it is known that many civilizations began from a river, with water being an important source. That is indeed true, as it is known that long ago we did not live all around Singapore but only in the areas close to the river. You may be wondering why it is important to Singapore's history. Well, the mouth of the Singapore River was the old port of Singapore. In the past, the city of Singapore initially grew around the port, so the river mouth became the center of trade and finance, which caused the setting up of a nation. Now, let's take a look at its importance. The early Singapore River had an ancient fishing village, Temasek, with people known as Orang Laut. In 1818, Sir Stamford Raffles stepped foot on Singapore River and signed a treaty with Temenggong Abdul Rahman to set up a trading port. Then, many businessmen and traders came to Free Trading Port, located here at the Singapore River. The historical value that the Singapore River has makes it an important heritage of Singapore. Without this river, it would have been very hard to set up a port. Without the port, people would not have come here for job opportunities, and without the setting up of people, Singapore would not even have become what it is today. So it is important that the young teens of Singapore should learn about the Singapore River and its historic values. Well, let's talk more about the changes that it went through. Vishal, would you like to continue for me?
Yes, of course, Sujith. In the past, Singapore River used to be littered with many boats. This was because of the arrival of the East India Company, which brought a great deal of more trade, boats, and laborers to the waterway. Because of the number of boats for the trading in the past, Singapore River used to be full of litter. The main artery of Singapore's commerce became clogged with waste and dirt. In 1977, Singapore's Prime Minister, back then Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, brought up a cleanup project. It took 10 years to complete this project, and it is now part of the Marina Reservoir. It has stopped its old days trade role and moved towards a tourism and entertainment role for tourists. There are many hotels, shopping centers, and skyscrapers along the Singapore River. There is even a river cruise service. There is a reason why there was changes. It was because Singapore's economy grew very fast and it became a developed country. Since it became a developed country, it is important that their historical heritage is well maintained and that it should be modernized to attract tourists. Now let's get back to Sujith.
Thank you, Vishal. Many people value the Singapore River in many ways, now and then. For example, businessmen and traders back then value it for its trading, while the students now value it for its historic purpose. Back then, all races of people lived near the river. The Chinese lived on the south bank, the Malays stayed in the kampongs upstream, and the Indians also lived nearby until they moved further to Kalang, Geylang, and Rochor area. Now, the locals value it for its scenery and tourism for the country's economic growth. Now, I hope you understand the significance of the Singapore River. Please do take time to visit that beautiful place. Meanwhile, I am reporter Sujith and you are watching Teenage TripAdvisor television station. Thank you for watching.